Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a bit of a digital forensic dig. We are going to figure out exactly why the web is changing so drastically right before our eyes, and more importantly, we'll uncover how a microscopic glitch deep inside our computer chips is actually the thing causing it.
Let's kick things off with a feeling I'm sure we've all had recently. You type a query into Google, and the search results just feel, well, empty, right? The vibrant web of unique blogs and distinct voices we're used to just seems to be vanishing. So where exactly did all the traffic go?
Okay, let's look at the numbers. A staggering 58.5% of US Google searches now end in 0 clicks. Just think about that for a second. That means the majority of the time you search for something, you never actually leave the search engine to visit an external website. The traffic isn't just dropping, it's literally being entirely contained. And we know exactly what's accelerating this trend. According to a March 2025 Pew Research study, Google's new AI overviews nearly cut your chance of clicking a website in half. Standard search gave websites a modest 15% click rate. But once that AI summary box pops up at the top of your screen, answering your query before the links even have a chance to load, that rate just plummets to 8%.
Now, this right here creates a massive crisis for creators. People click the source links embedded inside these AI summaries a dismal 1% of the time. The AI scrapes the creator's insights, generates an answer, and basically just keeps the user entirely on the platform. So the writer who actually put in the work, they essentially get nothing.
Part 1. The Innovator's Dilemma. Eating its own model.
So, to beat the rising tide of chatbots, search engines basically have to ingest the open web and serve it up for free. But by answering queries before links overload, the AI is acting as a massive lossy compression engine. This causes what experts are legally calling semantic decapitation. It's this wild phenomenon where the unpredictable math inside a neural network completely severs the original human intent and their copyright from the final generated output. You just become a mere data point, completely disconnected from your own creation.
Part 2. Descent to the metal. Okay, if we zoom all the way down past the software and straight into the bare silicon, we find out that this isn't just a business strategy. It's actually a hardware flaw. Get a load of this. 80 to 90% of modern AI compute cycles are literally just hardware-level approximations. They are not exact math. To process these absolute oceans of data at blistering speeds, the systems running these massive AI models are fundamentally forced to just make highly educated guesses.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the massive clash happening right now inside the physical chips doing the math. On one side, we have the FPU Gambler. These are floating point processing units that basically throw darts at a board using totally secret proprietary seed tables to just guess the nearest mathematical truth. On the other side, we've got the ALU Surveyor, or arithmetic logic unit. This guy relies on exact, deterministic, universal logic where 1 + 1 is exactly 2 every single time.
Here's the catch, though. Modern AI relies almost entirely on that fast guessing FPU Gambler, and relying on those approximations causes a devastating flaw known as the wood chipper effect. Because the math involves dropping microscopic decimals just to save space, the exact provenance of the data is irreversibly destroyed, right there at the silicon level.
Let's walk through exactly how this microscopic glitch shreds data provenance step by step. First, the AI ingests exact source data, maybe an original blog post or a copyrighted book. Second, the FPU hardware encounters that complex data and approximates the math using those secret silicon tables we talked about. And third, because that math was ultimately just a lossy guess, the original chain of title is permanently lost.
As this quote perfectly illustrates, once the AI guesses the math, the original human creator is just lost in the smoothie. You might know exactly what majestic raw data went into that giant blender initially, but you absolutely cannot reverse engineer that statistical output back to credit the specific writers who trained it. There's just no going back.
Part 3. The Metadata Miasma. The Missing Data Fog.
So, if we zoom back out from the microchip to the macro economy, we see that this math problem triggers massive real-world fallout. This loss of provenance creates what's called the metadata miasma. It's basically this thick, impenetrable fog of missing or mathematically distorted data. When an automated system just guesses who contributed to a piece of work instead of keeping a strict deterministic record, well, it completely liquidates the livelihoods of content creators.
And the crucial point to take away here is this.
Mathematical approximations directly swallow human paychecks into an uncredited abyss. To put that into perspective, relying on this fog caused a session vocalist for Erykah Badu to initially miss out on $15,000 in royalties simply because the credit wasn't captured perfectly at the source. The machine's guess literally cost real humans their rent money.
Now, all of this creates a huge clash in how we actually fund the web moving forward. On one side, you have the extractive liquidator VC model. Think of it like a Las Vegas casino that relies on rapid extraction, just burning through data and creators for a quick payout. On the flip side, we have legitimacy VC. This model operates more like cultivating a vineyard. It focuses on a 10-year horizon, building high-trust, foundational infrastructure where original creators are actually tracked and fairly compensated.
Part 4. The deterministic solution. Bypassing the chipper.
So the big question is, how do we actually rescue our digital reality from the guessing machine? Well, we have to bypass the wood chipper entirely by crossing what's called the semiotic bridge. This means taking our warm, messy human intent and forcing it into strict, deterministic text formatting, something like JSON data scripts, which is a strict data format for storing and transporting information. By doing this, we completely skip the guessing AI gambler and speak directly to the cold, perfect physics of the exact ALU surveyor.
The truly beautiful part about all of this is that we don't actually need to rebuild the internet to make it happen. We can avoid those massive, bloated legal smart contracts, what developers like to call Ricardian complexity, and instead use simple chopsticks design. By using really elegant, lightweight tools like the long-dormant HTTP 402 payment required code as a direct webhook to signal that content needs to be paid for, we can route exact creator payments securely. And we can do it while delegating the physical execution to totally deterministic AI agents.
This whole approach completely transforms modern networks into what we can call agentic publishing houses. So rather than just acting as some fast, extractive casino, the network acts as a clinical validator. It cryptographically bakes a creator's undeniable chain of title, the literal sweat of their brow, directly into the digital substrate. It protects their authorship right down at the silicon level.
Ultimately, it all comes down to whether we settle for the fog or fight for clarity. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought for this explainer. If we stop writing that deterministic bridge ourselves, and we just surrender our intent to a guessing machine, who truly controls the physics of our digital reality? Because the future of the internet and the protection of human authorship depends entirely on your answer. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.